On the fifth part of my review of the Space Wolves 8th edition Codex, working with the elites today, starting with the Wolf Scouts. I like the Space Wolf Scouts. They're actually some of the best scouts in the game. The Space Wolves don't use their neonates for their scouts. They in fact use grizzled veterans, meaning they have a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3 up, which is just better than the ballistic skill 4 up that most scouts usually get. The unit contains 1 Wolf Scout pack leader and 4 Wolf Scouts. It can include up to 5 additional Wolf Scouts, and it can also include a Wolf Guard pack leader. There are reasons that this isn't necessarily a great thing, which we'll go into later. The Wolf Scouts and the Wolf Scout pack leader are armed with bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, as you'd expect. The Wolf Guard pack leader with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. That's the door. In terms of war gear options, any Wolf Scout or pack leader may take a camo cloak. Any Wolf Scout or Wolf Scout pack leader may replace its bolt gun with a chain sword, combat knife, sniper rifle or a starter shotgun. One Wolf Scout may replace his bolt gun with a heavy bolter or missile launcher. I've always preferred the missile launcher for its tactical viability, particularly because Wolf Scouts tend to be one of the few Space Wolf units that act more as a solo unit than in concert with other units. Or an item from the special weapon list. One Wolf Scout may replace either his bolt gun with a power axe or power sword, or replace his bolt pistol with a plasma pistol. Again, it gives you a few more options and a few more things to do, particularly when you're working solo. The Wolf Scout pack leader may either replace his bolt gun with a power axe or power sword, or replace his bolt pistol with a plasma pistol. Again, fairly standard for Wolf Guard. Wolf Guard pack leader may replace his bolt gun with a plasma pistol, storm shield, or an item from the melee weapons or combi weapon list. He may also replace his bolt pistol with a plasma pistol, storm shield, or an item from the melee weapon list. Again, standard for a Wolf Guard pack leader and pretty much what you'd expect. Gives you a lot of access to a lot of weapons, so you can tailor your unit for specific actions if you need to. Abilities wise, they've got And They Shall Know No Fear, and they've got camo cloaks. Now, this is where the Wolf Guard pack leader can be an issue. If every model in a unit has a camo cloak, you can add 2 to the saving throws made for models in the unit when they receive the benefit from cover. Obviously, where the Wolf Guard pack leader doesn't have access to camo cloaks, but the Wolf Scout pack leader does, you get an issue where if you take a Wolf Guard pack leader, you're not going to get that camo cloak advantage, and it's quite useful for survivability. The next ability is behind enemy lines. During deployment, you can set up this unit behind enemy lines instead of placing it on the battlefield. At the end of your movement phase, the unit can join the battle. Set it up so that it is within 6 inches of any battlefield edge of your choice and more than 9 inches away from enemy models. Again, this is fairly standard for scouts from the previous edition. I think the 9 inches is actually slightly closer to enemy models than they used to be able to set up, but it means you can bring them in from the back lines to do damage, or just as a unit the enemy has to deal with, diverting firepower away from your main units. All in all, pretty much what we come to expect from Space Wolf Scouts, and yeah, it makes me happy, and certainly they're a unit I consider using even though I'm a Primaris player primarily. Reavers, one of my personal favourite units. The difference between Reavers and Wolf Scouts, although they're both behind enemy lines operatives, is that Wolf Scouts work on stealth. They hit, they run, they're basically ghosts, whereas the Reavers are the things that go bump in the night. They're the terror, they're the nightmare under your bed. They let you know they're coming because they want you to know they're coming. They operate primarily on fear tactics and terror tactics. Ballistic and weapon skill 3 up as standard, 2 attacks and 3 attacks for, well, 2 attacks for standard Reaver, 3 attacks for a Reaver pack leader, again as standard. This unit contains 1 Reaver pack leader and 4 Reavers, and can include 5 additional Reavers for an additional power rating. Each model is armed with a bolt carbine, a heavy bolter, frag grenades, crack grenades, and shock grenades. Shock grenades are one of my favourites. In terms of war gear, all Reavers in the unit may replace their bolt carbine with a combat knife. If you're planning to use it for a close combat assault, that extra attack is very much worth it. Reaver Sergeant may replace his bolt carbine with a heavy bolt pistol or a combat knife. All models may take grav shoots. The Reaver Sergeant. Oh, they didn't say Reaver Pack Leader in the thing. Possibly missed out a bit there. Anyway, all models may take grav shoots, and all models may take grapnel launchers, which means that you can deep strike them and they'll be able to move quickly across terrain and across buildings without necessarily incurring penalties. Abilities, they shall know no fear, obviously. Terror troops. Enemy units must subtract 1 from their leadership if they are within 3 inches of any units of Reavers. All of this helps when rolling for leadership and taking away those few extra models. Grav shoots. You can set up this unit, if it is equipped with grav shoots, in high orbit instead of placing them on the battlefield, so they start off in reserve basically. At the end of your movement phase, you can descend, set up anywhere on the battlefield that's not within 9 inches of an enemy unit. And grapnel launchers do not count vertical distance against the total that a unit moves that turn. In addition, during deployment, you can set this unit up if it is equipped with grapnel launchers behind enemy lines, which is the rule we just read for the Wolf Scout unit. It basically allows them to come in from the rear, which is great with a lot of the limitations that some tournaments are doing to deep striking. It gets around that for you. Right, next we've got aggressors, the hard-hitting unit of the Primaris. Comes with standard movement for aggressors, 5 inches, so they're a little slower. Weapon skill and ballistic skill 3+ as standard, and 2 attacks or 3 attacks in close combat, depending on whether you're a standard aggressor or a pack leader. The unit contains 1 aggressor pack leader and 2 aggressors. It can include up to 3 additional aggressors for a power rating of +6. Each model is armed with an auto bolt storm gauntlet and frag storm grenade launchers. So if you want to change over to the flamers, you have to pay. I'm just going to go into the different statistics of these weapons just because it's worth noting. The Bolt Storm Gauntlet has an 18-inch range and Assault 6, whereas the Flame Storm Gauntlet has an 8-inch range and an Assault 2d6. That is really, really good in terms of 2d6, giving you up to 36 hits in 2d6 is 12 times 3, yeah, 36 potential hits for a 3-man unit in hand-to-hand combat, or 72 if you don't move because of the special rules that the Flamestorm Gauntlets have, which I'll go into in a moment. However, it does mean you're slightly tactically less flexible as you've only got an 8-inch range. Both the Auto Bolt Storm Gauntlets and the Flamestorm Gauntlets have a Power Fist attached. So that's standard Power Fist rules in close combat, which is nice. Abilities, and I shall know no fear. Relentless Advance. Models in this unit do not suffer any penalty to their hit rolls for advancing and firing assault weapons. That's fantastic, as all the weapons are assault weapons. Now, Firestorm. Models in this unit can fire twice if they remain stationary during their turn, including when they fire Overwatch. Which, being as the flame weapon automatically hits, means that you are rolling a hell of a lot of wounds. If something charges you, yeah, you're going to cause a lot of flame damage with that Firestorm. It's very, very nasty. Admittedly, you're still rolling on 6s, but still, you know, just the raw amount of rolls, you're going to cause some harm. We go into Servitors next. The only unit I've come across that doesn't have, and they shall know no fear, well, the only infantry type unit. Where are we? Servitors, weapon skill 5+, ballistic skill 5+, movement 5. So they're slow, but at the same time, they are very cheap. You can equip them with a lot of options, multi-melters, plasma cannons and the like. Each unit contains 4 servitors, each model is armed with a servo arm. Up to 2 servitors may replace their servo arm with a heavy bolter, plasma cannon or multi-melter, even with the lower ballistic skill. They're still a nasty unit. Mind locks. Servitors improve both their weapon skill and ballistic skill to 4+, and their leadership to 9 whilst they are within 6 of a friendly Iron Priest, meaning that you're going to be hitting about 50% of the time. And for the cost, it can be worth it for the extra punch. Certainly it allows the Iron Priest to really pay for himself more than just repairing vehicles. We've now got Lucas the Trickster, one of my favourite models. I just love the fact that he works so well with blood claws. Lucas Trickster is a single model armed with the claw of the jackal, plasma pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades. Movement 6, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, and 4 attacks with 4 wounds. Abilities wise, they shall know no fear. Blood Claw Hero, you can re-roll all wound rolls of 1 for friendly Blood Claw units that are within 6. Master of Mischief, subtract 1 from the leadership of all units within 3 of Lucas the Trickster at the start of the morale phase for the duration of the phase. In addition, Lucas the Trickster cannot be your warlord, which is what you could expect. He'd run off in the middle of battle yelling for the lols and then go and do something. The last laugh. If Lucas the Trickster is slain in the fight phase, both players roll a dice, re-rolling ties. If you roll lowest, nothing happens. If you roll highest, the unit that landed a blow immediately suffers D6 mortal wounds. That's more than capable of killing a unit, but it is a significant nerf from the previous rule, which was the unit was removed from the battlefield, which frankly is legit. People were using Lucas the Trickster to take out Titans. The Titan would stomp on Lucas, the stasis bomb would go off, the Titan would be no longer part of the battle. Something that GW's own FAQ went, yeah, that's how the rule works. This isn't anywhere near as powerful, frankly, it's a lot fairer. And Pelt of the Doppelganger, your opponent must subtract 1 from any to hit rolls for attacks that target Lucas the Trickster in the fight phase. Not a lot, but certainly a bit more survival. Again, quite like Lucas there. We've got the Wolf and Dreadnought, which is a new unit to me. Certainly I haven't used them before. The Wolf and Dreadnought is a single model equipped with a Fenrisian Grey Axe, a Wolfclaw and a Stormbolter. Big, bad and scary. 8 inches movement, so they're nice and fast. Wounds 8 and a 3+ armor save, so they've got a reasonable chance of survival. War gear options. This model may replace its Fenrisian Grey Axe or its Great Wolfclaw and Stormbolter with a Blizzard Shield and Stormbolter. This model may replace any Stormbolter with a Heavy Flamer, so you can in theory get 2 Heavy Flamers. Murderlust, moving on to abilities. Murderlust, you can re-roll any failed charge rolls to this model, which is really going to help getting it into combat, which is really where this model belongs. Blizzard Shield gives you a 4+ invulnerable save, and again, as with most Dreadnoughts, it explodes, meaning if it goes off, it's going to take out a lot of stuff if it rolls a 6. It's a 3-inch radius, but it's worth remembering the size of the Dreadnought base is a little bit bigger than an average base, so you are going to get a reasonable amount of guys in that, particularly being as if everyone's surrounding you in close combat, which is where the Wolfman wants to be, you're going to have a lot of people within that 3-inch radius. Great Company Ancient. A Great Company Ancient is a single model armed with a bolt pistol, frag grenades and crack grenades. It's basic marine, but with 4 wounds and 3 attacks. War gear option. This model may replace its bolt pistol with a bolt gun, a plasma pistol, or an item from the combi weapons list or melee weapon list. Again, gives you a bit more flexibility. Obviously, and they should know no fear. This is the good bit. Great Company banner. Space Wolves within 6 inches of any friendly Space Wolf Ancient add 1 to their leadership. In addition, Roll a d6 each time a Space Wolf infantry model is destroyed within 6 of any friendly Space Wolf ancients. Before removing the model as a casualty, on a 4+, that model can either shoot with one of its weapons as if it were in the shooting phase, or make a single attack as if it were in the fight phase. Depending on what you've got, that's actually fantastic, particularly being as people tend to run ancients in their command units, and that means if your Wolf Lord does get taken out, he gets the last hit. It's only a single attack, but everything helps. We've got the Primaris Ancient, which is a basic Primaris equipped as we'd expect, with a bolt rifle, a bolt pistol, frag and crack, and again with the Great Company banner with the rules that read exactly the same as one I just read you. And then we move on. We've got the Great Company Champion. It's movement 6, weapon skill 2+, BS 3+, with 4 wounds and 3 attacks. The Great Company Champion is a single model with a bolt pistol, mastercrafted power sword, frag and crack grenades. Doesn't have any war gear options, but has the ability Honor or Death. This model must make a heroic intervention if it's able to do so. In addition, you can reroll failed hits for this model in the fight phase when targeting a character. Basically, he goes in, calls out enemy characters and makes a mess of them. This is a warlord killer, this is a character killer. We've got the Wolf Guard next, which always form a big core chunk of any Space Marine army. Space Wolf army. Basic Space Wolf stats, but 2 attacks and 3 for the Wolf Guard pack leader, who's slightly better than Wolf Guard. Unit contains 1 Wolf Guard pack leader and 4 Wolf Guard, and again, you take 5 additional Wolf Guard for an additional power rating. Each model is armed with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. War gear options, and this is where the Wolf Guard are really nice. Any model may replace this bolt gun with a plasma pistol, storm shield, or item from the melee weapons list or combi weapons list. I may show them to you later, or I think there's a picture of one on my intro. I actually went through and converted a bunch of Wolf Guards to have combi flamers. Only a unit of 5, but frankly against Imperial Guard, they were just beautiful. Particularly back in the template era, they just made a mess of things. The entire unit may take jump packs, power rating +1 per 5 models. If it does, the move characteristic becomes 12 and it gets the fly keyword. Again, that's nice because you can just take some real heavy firepower to the air. Abilities, and they should know no fear, storm shield and jump pack assault as appropriate. Next we've got Wolf Guard Terminators, everything you'd expect from a Wolf Guard, but wearing a Terminator suit of armour. Any model may replace its power fist or sword with a storm shield item from the Terminator melee weapons list, and any model may replace its storm bolter with an item from the combi weapon or Terminator melee weapons list. For every 5 models, the Wolf Guard may replace their storm bolter with an item from the Terminator heavy weapon list, allowing you to make your classic 1 heavy weapon badass Terminator squad. They've got the Crux Terminatus, which gives you a 5+ invulnerable save, storm shields and teleport deep strike. Next we have the standard Dreadnought. Movement of 6, not quite as fast as that Wolf in there. Weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3+, fairly standard. Toughness 7, wounds 8 and attacks 4. All pretty good with a save of 3+. A Dreadnought is a single model equipped with an assault cannon, a storm bolter and a Dreadnought combi weapon. Now we go to the war gear options. This model may replace its assault cannon with line from a Dreadnought heavy weapon list, which is nice. This model may replace its combat weapon and storm bolter with a missile launcher. So if you want to go pure long range and use them for support firepower, you can. I can see a lot of Primaris players using Dreadnoughts in this role. This model may replace a storm bolter with a heavy flamer. And this model may replace its Dreadnought combi weapon with a Great Wolf Claw, which frankly I always do because they look so blooming cool. Right, abilities. Smoke Launcher. A lot of people underrate the Smoke Launcher. I think particularly if you're using a short range Dreadnought and you're not yet in range to hurt people, the extra saves are worth it. It's something you get automatically and it costs nothing to use. And again, explodes, Not necessarily as guaranteed to take out bad guys as the Wolf and Dreadnought, but will keep people at bay or hurt them if they don't. Next we've got Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminators. Again, basically Wolfguard, but with Cataphractii armor. There are some slight differences in the war gear. Let's go. Each unit contains 1 Wolfguard Cataphractii Pack Leader and 4 Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminators, and can include 5 additional Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminators for an additional power rating. The Wolfguard Cataphractii Pack Leader, try saying that several times when you have a few, is armed with a combi bolter and a power sword. These are from the Heresy period, that's why they're armed with combi bolters rather than storm bolters. They're pretty similar, but they're nice. Each Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminator is armed with a combi bolter and power fist. Well, let's have a look. Now, the war gear options. For every 5 models, 1 Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminator may replace his combi bolter with a heavy flamer, which is going to be really nice in close quarters. Any model may replace his combi bolter with a lightning claw. Any Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminator may replace his power fist with a chain fist or lightning claw. Any Wolfguard Cataphractii Pack Leader may replace his power sword with a chain fist, power fist or lightning claw. The Wolfguard Cataphractii Pack Leader may take a grenade harness. Again, a little extra firepower for there if you need it. They should know no fear, obviously. Teleport Strike, obviously, and Cataphractii Armor. Models in this unit have a 4+ invulnerable save, which is better than that of your standard Terminator, but you must half the result of any dice roll to determine how far this unit advances. So slower but tougher. You'll want to make sure to deploy these guys much closer to where you want them and much closer to where you need them, because they can't really advance across the battlefield. Wolfguard Tartarus Terminators are next. Again, pretty much what you'd expect. This unit contains, well, from Wolfguard with the stats, this unit contains 1 Wolfguard Tartarus Pack Leader. Ooh, I say that. Wolfguard Terminators have a movement of 5. The Cataphractii have a movement of 4. And the Tartarus have a movement of 6. So these are your light foot, your fast Terminators. Certainly worth considering those different movements when considering what and if you want to take Terminators. This unit contains 1 Wolfguard Tartarus Pack Leader and 4 Tartarus Terminators. It can include up to 5 additional Wolfguard Tartarus Terminators for an additional power rating. Each Wolfguard Pack Leader is armed with combi bolter and power sword. Each Wolfguard Tartarus Terminator is armed with a combi bolter and power fist. Now we get to the war gear, which is actually where these guys actually really do excel. For every 5 models in the unit, 1 Wolfguard Terminator may replace its combi bolter with a heavy flamer or Reaper autocannon. Having 2 Reaper autocannons is very nice. They're very brutal. Any Wolfguard Terminator may replace his combi bolter with a power fist or 2 lightning claws. Combi bolter and power fist with 2 lightning claws. Each Wolfguard Terminator may replace his Pack Leader may replace his combi bolter with a power sword and 2 lightning claws. Any Wolfguard Terminator may replace his power fist with a chain fist, just for when you want to open those vehicles up. Any Wolfguard Tartarus Pack Leader may replace his power fist with a chain fist. May replace his power sword with a chain fist or power fist. The Wolfguard Tartarus Pack Leader may replace his combi bolter with a plasma blast or Volkite Charger. Nice esoteric weapons. It's always cool to see that weird stuff on the battlefield, and it always makes your enemy think twice because they don't remember what they do. If every 5 models, 1 model may take a grenade harness. Again, a little extra firepower for not much extra cost. They shall know no fear as you expect, teleport strike as you expect, and Tartarus armor. This unit has a 5+ invulnerable save. Right, we've got the Venerable Dreadnought. Movement of 6, weapon skill ballistic skill 2+, toughness of 7, wounds of 8, and attacks of 4. The Venerable Dreadnought is a single model equipped with an assault cannon, storm bolter, and dreadnought combi weapon. So it starts with the box standard loadout, but it does get some cool warget options. Any model may replace its assault cannon with a weapon from the Dreadnought heavy weapon list. This model replaces its Dreadnought combat weapon with a storm bolter with a missile launcher. This model may replace its storm bolter with a heavy flamer. This model may replace its Dreadnought combat weapon with a great claw. This model may replace its assault cannon and Dreadnought combat weapon with a Fenrisian axe and a blizzard shield. It gives you that nice sword, that nice axe and board combo that you see on a lot of the models. And frankly, the blizzard shields do give you a lot of survivability when running across the open battlefield. Got some cool abilities. Unyielding Ancient. Roll a d6 each time this model loses a wound. On a roll of 6, it doesn't lose a wound. That's worded in such a way that it is not a save. So you roll your save. If the save fails and you lose a wound, you then roll a wound. So it's an additional save, which frankly, you'd be surprised how often they pull off. Smoke launchers, again, as I said, smoke launchers are cool. Explodes, again, as I said, explodes is a nice little hit. Contemptor Dreadnoughts. These are the old Heresy style Dreadnoughts, the ones that look a lot more like a big Marine. I really do consider using these with Primaris just because they do, I think, fit the aesthetic quite nicely. The movement, the weapon skill ability on these changes as the wounds go down. They start off with a movement of 9, then it goes to 6, then it goes to 4. They've got quite a few wounds. Well, they've got 10 wounds, which is a lot of wounds. Well, for a Dreadnought. And they're very fast. They're a very nice Dreadnought. They're worth the additional cost for the movement. The weapon skill and ballistic skill are 2+2+. Then 3+2+, then 4+4+. Again, it gets weaker as it goes down. This is the main difference between it and other Dreadnoughts. This model may replace its multi-melter with a Kiri's pattern assault cannon. Oh, sorry, I should go through the thing. The Contemptor Dreadnought is a single model equipped with a multi-melter combi bolton Dreadnought combat weapon. That's its standard layout. Warget options, it can replace its multi-melter with a Kiri's pattern assault cannon. Sorry, this model has a 5+ invulnerable save from its atomantic shielding and the abilities, and again explodes. Not that many options for this model, but the options it does have are very good, and it's a very good model when taken as standard. Now we move on to the Primaris Dreadnought, which is the Redemptor Dreadnought, and it's huge compared to the other Dreadnoughts, and you can see this in its wound value of 13. Still only a toughness 7, but frankly that's nothing to be sniffed at. Again, with this one, its speed, its movement, its weapon skill, and its ballistic skill depend on how many wounds it has left. Starting off at 8 inches, which is faster than every other Dreadnought except the Contemptor, where it has 3+3+, moves to 6 inches, and 4+4+, to 4 inches and 5+5+. It's not as tough as... Sorry, it's not as good in combat or shooting as Contemptor Dreadnought, but it can take a lot more of a hammering. The Redemptor Dreadnought is a single model equipped with a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, heavy flamer, 2 frag storm grenade launchers, and a Redemptor fist, which is just basically another way of saying a close combat weapon. This model may replace its heavy flamer with an onslaught Gatling cannon, making it even nastier. In range, this model may replace its heavy onslaught Gatling cannon with a macro plasma incinerator. I don't know if you've seen them, but they look amazing. I'm currently running the Gatling cannon because I have the ETB version of this, but I'm planning to buy the more expensive version for the plasma cannon, or for the plasma incinerator. This model may replace its 2 Fragstorm grenade launchers with 2 Storm bolters. Primarily, this is a matter of range. The Fragstorm grenade launcher has a range of 18, whereas the Storm bolters have a range of 24. Storm bolters are rapid fire. On this are rapid fire 2. The Fragstorm grenade launcher is assault 6. So more shots over a shorter range, or vice versa. This model may take an Icarus rocket pod. This is really cool and really useful simply because the Icarus rocket pod is an anti-flyer weapon, and we all know how difficult flyers can be to deal with. Abilities, it just has explodes, but frankly with all the cool stuff, that's all it needs. Right, next moving on to one of the iconic units in this codex, the Wolfen. They're big, they're bad, they're nasty. For anybody who hasn't yet stood them side by side, a Wolfen model is actually bigger than a Primaris, which says a lot about the Canis Helix. Movement 7, they're very fast. Weapon skill 3+, standard ballistic skill 5+. You're not using their Wolfen for their ballistic skill. If you're getting into a shooting battle with your Wolfen, what are you doing? Toughness 4 as standard, wounds 2, so they're a little more survivable than your standard Marine. Attacks 3 for a Wolfen and 4 for a Wolfen pack leader. So yeah, they're big, they're scary, they're nasty. Each unit contains 1 Wolfen pack leader and 4 Wolfen. It can include up to 5 additional Wolfen for power rating 11. The one difference between this and a lot of the others is you only get 5 in a box, so it's certainly bigger and more expensive to field a full pack of them. Each Wolfen fights with its Wolfen claws. Wolfen pack leader is armed with frost claws. War gear options. Any model may take a Stormfrag auto launcher. These are quite useful. And any Wolfen may replace their Wolfen claws with frost claws. Great frost axe, a thunder hammer, and a storm shield. Then we go on to the abilities. Bounding Lope. Models in this unit can advance and charge in the same turn. I'm just going to press this because it's all gone dark. Death Frenzy. Roll a d6. Sorry, I'm going to go back to Bounding Lope. Advancing and charging in the same turn means they move like lightning and they will be on you before you know it. Really, these things will be in your face much quicker than you'd expect. Death Frenzy. Roll a 6 each time a model in the unit loses a wound. On a roll of 5+, that wound is not lost. If the model is slain in the fight phase, then once the enemy unit has finished making its attacks, you can attack with that model before removing it as a casualty, even if it has already attacked in the attack phase. This isn't like the banner where you get 1 attack. The Wolfen get all their attacks, which means if you take them with a Thunder Hammer, they're guaranteed to get those attacks. If you take them with Wolf Claws, there is a significant chance you're going to be able to do all your attacks, lose a bunch of your Wolfen, and do all their attacks again, making them incredibly dangerous in close combat. They may die, but they'll kill most things in front of them. Storm Shield, obviously that's there. If you take Storm Shield, which is one of your options, and Curse of the Wolfen. There's 2 Curses of the Wolfen. There's the Hunt variant and the Kill variant. The Hunt variant, you can re-roll failed charge rolls for friendly Space Wolf infantry, biker and cavalry units that are within 6 inches of this unit at the start of the phase. The Ranger's clause. So they'll get in and their friends will come with them. Running Wolfen and Blood Claws is just a great idea. They're just brutal. Curse of the Wolfen, kill. You can make 1 additional attack for friendly models in the Space Force infantry, biker or cavalry units that are within 6 inches of any unit with this ability. When they make attacks in the fight phase, the range of the ability is 12 for friendly Blood Claw units. Wolfen are not affected by this ability, nor are units that made a charge in this turn within range of the Wolfen Hunt ability. Which is worth noting that the Wolfen don't get the extra attack, but they, by the looks of it, they do get to reroll their charge ranges. They're just a horrible unit. They are beardy, they are cheesy. Your opponent has the right to moan if you take them, but the models are so good looking. I don't know anybody who wouldn't take them. I'm a Primaris player and I'm taking Wolfen. Murderfang, the original psychotic dreadnought, is the next up. Murderfang is a single model equipped with Murder Claws, a Stormbolt, and a Heavy Flamer. Basically, everything says murder on this, and nothing says murder like Murderfang. Abilities, Murder Lust. You can reroll failed charge rolls for Murderfang, in addition to which, in turns which Murderfang Makes a successful charge, increase his charge characteristic by 2. His movement's 8 to begin with a weapon skill of 2. Adding extra speed to him is just brilliant. His attack characteristic is 5, and that brings it up to 7. He's killing anything you put in front of him. Force of Untamed Destruction. Murderfang cannot be a warlord. Yeah, mostly because he doesn't speak, apart from slavering blergens. With Murderfang and Wolf of Dreadnoughts, they basically keep them in cold storage, wheel the cold storage unit up to the enemy, open it, the unit screams out, and then at the end of the battle, they catch it, probably losing men in the process, I'd imagine, and close it back into cold storage. And of course, the explodes rule, again, the same with the Wolf and Dreadnought. If this unit is where you want it to be when it dies, that is a few extra bodies you're taking out. And that's the end of the elite unit. We'll be going on to the fast attack unit in the next review. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much.